Shalom, Most High Christ bless. Welcome back to Cooking with Maccabeus. Today's dish that we're going to create is basically things that you have in your cupboards at home. You know, things that you neglect, you put aside, you know, and you don't think you can make a dish from it. So, you know, for single parents, single moms, single dads, you know, this is beneficial to you as well. Very beneficial, you know, because the dish that I'm gonna make, it's under 3 pounds to make, you know, for a family of 3, a family of 4, depending on how much flour you have. But the things that we have, like the tin, you know, tin corn, tin peas, tuna, I'm going to show you how these dishes that you once think they're not so great, they're not extravagant, you know, we're going to turn it into something great and extravagant. All right. If you come over here, you'll see an ingredients that I've got that's naturally in everybody's cupboard, single moms and single dad. As you can see, I've got some sweet corn here, I've got olives, I've got tuna, and I pull red onion from the fridge and I dice it. I have, like you see right here, we have a box of chopped tomato. I've got a pack of dry yeast. This is basically 7 grams of dry yeast. You see, I've got my plain flour here to do the dish I'm going to make. And let me tell you the dish that we're going to make. The dish that we're going to actually make is pizza. Now, why this dish is, you know, is fun to do is because now you're going to get the children to come and take part. They're going to enjoy getting their hand messy. You know, children like to get their hand in messy and dirty, you know, but this time within the food, with flour, messy, you know, they can make their own dough, roll their own dough. We're going to make pizza. So for single mom and single dad, parents, you know, this is a very good opportunity, a bonding experience for you and the children and the family to make a dinner together, make a dish together. And pizza is brilliant for bringing family together when you make it together, all right? So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to make pizza from scratch with all the ingredients that you can find in your cupboards, all right? Right, like I said, now we're going to make the pizza, all right? Now, let's have a look at all the ingredients I pulled from the cupboard to make the pizza, all right? So what I have here is some garlic puree with a little bit of oil to go onto the dough when the dough is cooked, you know, before I put the toppings on. And here I have my tuna, my diced red onion. These are all the toppings I'm going to use for the pizza. I've got here grated cheddar cheese, olives, corn, tin corn, and I've got some fresh basil here. Fresh basil, which I'm going to also use. Now, the first thing I'm going to do in starting is use some of the fresh basil, and I'm going to make our tomato sauce for the dough, to put on the dough first. This is our tomato sauce, okay? So what I have is the chopped tomato, bits of it. As you can see, I only have a little bit in here because I only need enough to make one. So I put a couple leaves of basil in it. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, and I'm gonna add a little bit of the garlic puree and oil I made earlier, and then I'm gonna blitz. I'm gonna puree, bring it together. All key ingredient as well, always add a little bit of sugar with your tomato to bring out the sweetness of the tomato. So I'll do that. So there you go. This is our tomato sauce. So that was our tomato sauce to make our pizza to go on our dough. All right. So as what I had, let me repeat what I had in it. I put a bit of the chopped tomato. I put about 3 or 4 leaves from my fresh basil, a little bit of olive oil here, and a little bit of sugar to help to bring out the sweetness of the tomato sauce. Your tomato sauce doesn't have to be cooked, all right? It can be like I just made it raw here, because remember, when you put the tomato sauce on the dough, everything is going into the oven, so then it can be cooked, all right? So we want to make sure it's fast and efficient as possible, and quick, because we don't want, we don't want it to be as messy as possible. Although we want the kids to have fun, we still don't want it to be very messy, all right? So the key to making any dish is preparing before in hand. Have everything prepped. So this is the key. Have all the ingredients prepped and put aside and ready to go. You don't wanna you're making your pizza and then you're going over that side to get that, and you're going over that side to get that, and you're going over that side to get that. You want to be able to have everything prepped and ready to go, all right? So now I'm gonna be making the dough. Now, as you can see in here, I have my flour already weighed out. It's 500 grams of plain flour. Now, you can use self-raising flour, and remember, you're using whatever you have in your cupboard, right? Now, naturally, we would use bread flour. We'd use strong flour to make our pizza dough because of the bread flour is high in gluten. So we would use a strong or bread flour. But remember, you can also use whatever you got in your cupboard. Plain flour, a little bit of self-raising flour. As you can see, we're also going to use a raising agent, which we're going to use fast-acting dry yeast. So this is something good to have in your cupboard to make your dough rise very quickly, all right? Now, putting the dough together, all right? I have 500 grams of the plain flour. I'm going to use a 7 gram packet of dry yeast. Now, I'm going to put the yeast on one side of the flour, and I've got here a tablespoon of caster sugar. I'm going to add it on the same place of the yeast. Then I have, hey, how we doing? So I'm about to add 2 teaspoons of salt to the dough, okay? So notice I added away from where the yeast is, all right? Because the salt will kill the yeast. The salt the sugar helps to, to revive the yeast, give life to the yeast. Now, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil. Then I'm gonna make my dough. All right. Here we have 350 ml of water and milk. Now you can do this with just water. You don't have to use milk, but I want to add milk because it gives me an enriched dough. The water gives the dough and change the dough to an enriched dough. The milk and a little bit of water. But you can do just plain warm water. Make sure your water is warm, not hot, because if it's hot, it's going to kill your yeast and the dough won't rise, right? So if your water is warm, it will help the bacteria, the yeast to multiply and expand and rise, all right? So I'm gonna add my water and my milk, and now I'm gonna make a dough, okay? So here we're making our dough. I'm gonna leave this because I made one earlier, and I'm just gonna go to the one I made earlier, okay? Right, like I said, I had one made earlier, one that's the dough is made up and is proofed, okay? So the dough is already proofed, and this dough is ready to go. It's ready. So this is the end product after you've made your dough, and you put, what I did was put a wet tea towel over it and put it somewhere warm to double for the dough to proof. Now, when it proofs, it's going to be double in size. As you can see, it was half the size, but now that the yeast is activated and it's double in size, okay? So now I'm going to pull my dough out. All right, and I have my dough here. Now, I'm going to knock my dough back. All right, I'm going to knock it back into shape, the size it was before. So I'm knocking it back. Give me a nice round shape. I'm going to use the knife and I'm going to cut it in half because I only need a half to make my pizza dough. I'm going to put the other half aside, move my knife. Now I'm going to roll my dough. I'm going to use the rolling pin. But first, I'm going to dust the work surface. Is she in there? The work surface. And now I'm going to roll out my pizza dough. Try to get yourself a nice round shape. Have enough flour on the surface that the dough don't stick on the surface. As you can see, rolling out the dough to the size I want it. You can determine how big you want your dough, how thick you want your crust, and how big you want your pizza. Now I want mine's at this size, so basically it's, you know, it's 14-inch in size. You know, I want a 14-inch size pizza. So now we've rolled our dough out. Now we're gonna cook our dough. Now I'm gonna get my dough onto the tray. Alright. And I'm gonna use this. The reason why I'm putting holes in it is to prevent the dough. I want the dough, because it's called baking it blind. So putting holes in the dough stops the dough from shrinking. I want it to remain the size I've rolled it out to, okay? So I'm doing this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna half cook my crust. Half cook my crust before I add my topping. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna move it to the oven and cook. Alright. Hey, brothers and sisters. Now we have the dough. The dough is out of the oven. It's half cooked. So we pre-cooked our dough, like I said I would. Have a look at it now. So as you can see, it still holds the shape. When it goes into the oven, it didn't shrink. It remains the size we roll it out to, because we add the fork, put holes in it in the dough. You know, the procedure is called baking it blind. So now the dough is ready. Now we're gonna add our topping. The first thing I'm gonna add is this garlic puree that I made, the oil. I'm gonna put it over my dough. Look at that. I like my dough garlicky. I don't know about you, but you know, you can use a brush or you can use a spoon and just get it all over. I like the edges to be garlicky. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. Now I'm gonna add our tomato sauce that we made earlier. Look at that. And then you just use the spoon, and we're just gonna go in a circular motion and spread. So all this amount of puree was enough to make the one pizza that we rolled out. Some people like it a lot, you know, lots of tomato sauce on it. You don't need a lot. We just need that much. Then first thing we're gonna add is cheese. So grated, we have the grated cheese. Stop. Adding the cheese as my first topping, right? I'm gonna add also some mozzarella, right? Add some mozzarella. Then I'm gonna add some sweet corn. So have fun with this. Have fun. Put whatever you want and how you want to put it on your topping. Then I'm gonna add tuna. Remember, this dish under 3 pounds to make. Under 3 pounds to make, and this pizza could feed, you know, a family of 2, family of 3. Know what I'm saying? Add in some onions because I like onions on my pizza. Then I'm adding olives. Gonna take a couple leaves off. I want a bit of basil all over my pizza. Right. I'm gonna add some more corn. I want all the olives on it. I love olives, you know. Some more onions. And then I'm gonna add some cheese. We have mozzarella and grated cheddar. And we're gonna cook. Now Israel, we're gonna cook this. We're gonna cook him off. We'll come back and we'll show you the finished product. So Israel, remember, you can do this at home. You can make this dish for a family of 3, family of 2, family of 4. You can pick anything because all these ingredients you'll find in your shelves. All right, it's very easy to make and it's very cheap also. It's economize to make these meals. All right, we've got to find a way to make these meals that we have in the cupboard fun for our kids to eat. And there's vegetables there as well. They're greens. All right, we'll come back when it's cooked. All right then. You can see my pizza is on the way, so I'm just gonna pull it out to put a little bit of oregano on top of it. See, oregano. You can simply get it from any Sainsbury's or any Tesco's or Lidl, right? And I'm just gonna put a little bit of chopped parsley, and I'm gonna put it back in the oven. Take a picture with it going in the oven. We're back, and we're back with the finished product. So as you look, our pizza is ready, and this is what it looks like when it's product. This is the finished product. As you can see, look at that. Perfectly, it looks like we call Papa Jean or something, but I'm gonna put it on the board, and I'm gonna cut it. And this. Right, so as you can see, we've cut our pizza, and like I said, this can feed a family of 2, family of 3. All right, single parent, single dad, single mom, you know, even a family home. And this is right. So that's making a pizza. Making pizza from all the ingredients you've got in your cupboard. It's very cheap. Like I said, it's under 3 pounds. This pizza. Thank you for cooking with Maccabeus. All right, see you next time. Having pizza. Shalom. Most likewise, flesh.